folks, welcome back. I don't know why my chair keeps going to the left. Let's see what we have today. Ooh, a very hard puzzle. Alright, let's see what we've got. Take a look at the symmetry. Feel free to pause it, print it out if you want to play along, or see how far you can get. If we get stumped, maybe we get stumped together. I do have this cool little symmetry of a line here and a line here. Line here and a line here. Automatically I saw this 4 and this 4. Gave that one right away here. So anything that we have double lined up here, see this 9? Well, we got a 9 in here somewhere. This is wide open here except for 1, which this one's wide open but 1. We've got a line kind of towards the back here. See this 1? So we know one of these two is a 1. Same thing here is a symmetry line. Symmetry is the 5 is across the back and 5 is across the middle. So we have a 5 here. So that helps us out a little bit. I think I said there was a 9 in here, right? 9. Mark that bad boy, which gives us a 9 in here. Okay. All right. And I also have this 4 I put in already. This 4 in the left column, center column, and bottom row actually makes this a 4, which only leaves one spot for that 9. So that was good. That gave us a little bit of help. Now we got 2 numbers that are missing here in this column. I know one of them is a 2, but I got a 2 right there. So there's my 2. What's the other number I'm missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need a 6. Only one spot left for that 6. There it goes. Okay. Well, that was a little helpful here. I'm trying not to get too excited because then I always get stumped somewhere. 8 down the middle, 8 across the bottom, and we have an 8 down the right column. One spot left for the 8. Let's see what else we have. Looking for pairs. I'm looking for pairs. All right, like a pair of 4s. 4 goes down the left, 4 goes down the middle. Only one spot left for this 4. Now this 1 cuts through here too, which double locks these 2 cells, folks. See the 4 and the 1? These 2 have to be a 4 and 1 no matter what we do, so those are locked, which tells me that these 2 have to be a 6 and a 7, because those are the only 2 numbers left in this cube. So now we have a row of 6 on the top from this one. We have a locked ghost row of 6s in the middle. We have a 6 in the center and a 6 down the right. Only one spot left for a 6 over here. So that's good. That's a little handy dandy. Let's see what else we have. Okay. Alright, just kind of letting my eyes wander for some pairs. We've got a pair of 5s here. 5 across the bottom, 5 across the middle. I said that backwards. So our 5 has to go up here. Alright, what else do we have? What else do we have? We have a pair of 8s down the center and down the right. So we have an 8 that goes somewhere over here. We have a pair of, what else do we have a pair of? Pairs of pairs of pairs. Let's see what we've got. We have a 3 that comes through the middle and a 3 that comes down. So we have to have a 3 here. Okay, we have a pair of 2s. 2 in the left, 2 in the center, 2 in the bottom. So we know we have to have a 2 here. Alright, we've got this cool little symmetry here. See this line here, this 5 comes up. So that means that one of these 2 have to be a 5, and we have a 5 in the bottom that helps us. So there is our 5. I think we're getting close to getting all the 5s done here. With this 5 covering this middle, I know we're going to have a 5 here. Now we have a 5 across the bottom, a 5 across the middle, 5 across the right, 5 across the center. Only spot for a 5 left in this cube is right there. Okay. Alright, so we have a 6 and an 8, but we have a 6 and an 8 here. We have a 6 and an 8 here. We have a 9. There we go. This 9 covers here. So that tells us that one of these 2 have to be a 9. We have a 9 that comes across the bottom and through the left. It says that one of these 2 have to be a 9. Now we have a 9 ghost row in the right, a 9 left, and we have a 9 through the center. So the top or the bottom have to be a 9. Alright, what else do we have? We have a 1, we need a 2, but it can't be here, so we have a 2 either here or here. And then we need a 7. There's not a lot of 7s in this game, so I know 7s are going to be a little sneaky on us here. So here's my 7 play here. Is that 7 cannot go here, and we have a 7 ghost row here. So that means our 7 has to be top or bottom here for this column. Okay, I know that's a little bit of a stretch, but we'll need that later on. I'm looking at this particular column. I'm noticing here some 2s. So we're going to have some 2s here or here. Okay. Right here we have a 2 coming up the left and a 2 on the top row. So we have to have a 2 here. Okay, what else do we have that can help us out? Looking for some pairs. Okay, these 8s line up, 8 in the left, 8 through the center, and 8 through the bottom. So these 2s and 8s now are double locked. Oops, look at this. Just kidding. We have an 8 right there. Only spot left for an 8, which makes this our only spot left for a 2. There we have it, folks. Now, here's a cool thing with the 2s here. We have a 2 in the middle, and we have a 2 in the bottom. So 2 has to be one of these top 2. Now, in these hard and very hard puzzles, we're going to run into this type of an elimination right here, which is called, I call it a crisscross elimination. You see how the 2 is in the left and the center lane? It can be in any one. It could be rows or columns. But then down here in the bottom, it can only be in the left 2. So, for instance, if this is a 2 in the left, then this is the 2 in the center. And vice versa, if this is then in the center, this is in the left. So this crisscross elimination means no matter how those 2 work out, the far left lane and the center lane both have their 2s taken care of. So in this center cube, you cannot have a 2 in the left or the center because it's already covered by these 2. It's an advanced technique for crisscross elimination is what I call it. So here is all we have left is for our 2. The only place we have left for a 9. So we only have one place left for our 7. Now this 2 comes over here, and that's going to satisfy that 2. Let me clean up my pencil mark. Get rid of the other 2. And that helps to scoodle those on. So in the hard and very hard puzzles, I've seen them both. You have to be able to catch that pattern of the crisscross elimination to be able to find some solutions. That's a very important technique. Okay, so we've got 2 numbers missing in this row. It looks like a 1 and a 6. I don't have a 1 or a 6 just yet to help me out. So let's get my fingers to work. Not a 7. 1 or a 6. We'll get those. Now those are double locked. So we don't have to worry about these ones anymore. They cannot be anything else, right? Okay. So we've got our 9. We've got our 8. We need a 7, which is going to be one of these 3. We've got our 6, a 5, a 4. We need a 3, which can be any one of these 3 at the moment. Now we created a cool little pattern right here. 8, 4, and 2, and we've got an 8, 4, and 2. See this line? 5, 3. Oh, a 3. Perfect. A 3 is great. A 3 is going to slide right there, fulfill this entire column. So a 3 is going to go this way and create a ghost row. So now we're going to have a 3 across the top, 3 across the bottom. So the 3 for this cube has to be either here or here. Okay. Now we also have we got 3 numbers here in this column. We have a 1, a 3, and a 7 it looks like. Okay, well the 7 cannot be down here. You see how we marked the 7 has to be here? So these 2 cannot be 7. We double locked the 7 because the 7 came across and already helped us out. So to have a 7 in this center column, it has to be one of these. So that tells me this one right here has to be the 7. No 7 in the left, no 7 in the center. Only one spot left. And you also have a 7 through here, 7 through the top. Okay, so once we put that in there, we're only going to have one spot left for our 1, only one spot left for our 3, and only one spot left for our 2. Which process of elimination leaves us with just a 9. Alright, so now I'm going to come through and carefully clean up all my pencil marks. I see this 9 here too, but I'm going to bring this 2 down here. I'm going to clean up my 2 here. Let's go ahead and get that 9 cleaned up. Get rid of that 9 there. Alright, so now we just have 2 numbers missing here. We're missing an 8 and it looks like a 4. So now these 2 cells are double locked. They cannot be anything else other than an 8 and a 4. We've got 2 numbers that are missing vertically here, which is a 9 and a 7. And we do have a helpful 9 there, so now we have a 9 here and a 7 there. We've got 2 numbers missing here, which we said was a 1 and a 3, and there's a helpful 3, so there's our 3. There's our 1. Now these are going to cascade a little bit. We had a 1 and a 4 option down here, which now it can't be a 1. That makes that a 4, makes that one a 1. Just got one. Okay, we have a 9 here, so our 9 has to go here. Just one number missing. Was that our 7? There we go. That bottom row is now complete. So now we only have 2 numbers missing here. Looks like a 5 and an 8, and of course we have a helpful 8 there. So there's an 8. There's a 5. Now the 5 comes up here and cascades this Mr. 5. Clean up our pencil marks. Clean up our pencil marks. So now we're missing 2 numbers here. Looks like a 1 and a 6. A 1 and a 6. Do we have anything to help us out with the 1 and the 6? I don't have any 1 or 6 just yet. So let's mark those. 1, 6, 1, 6. And guess what, folks? This right here is also a 1 or 6 because of the row. Alright, so here we've got a 1 and a 6 because of this feller. But what's the other number missing? A 7? A 7. So let's take a look here real quick. So we've got a 7 here. Alright, and then we've got a 1 and a 6 missing in here. So we have a 1 here that comes across, so the 1 has to go across the bottom. And then we have a 6, the middle, sorry about that. So we have our 6 that goes through the middle. So our 6 has to go on top. So this is fully marked out. Now our 9 came down here, and only one spot left for our 9. Okay, so now we have a 3, 6, and a 7 that are missing. Ooh, and a 1, 3, and a 7 for here. Okay, so we're getting kind of close here to the end, folks. Let's take a look at this cube up here. This one's missing a lot of numbers. Let's go backwards here. We've got a 9, we've got an 8. We need a 7. Now the 7's going to go across the row. Let's mark it here. Let's not mark it there, because guess what? Here's a 7 that says this can't be a 7. Here's a 7 that says this can't be a 7. So this is actually the only spot, folks, that we can even have a 7. Alright, so that helps us out a little bit. Yep. Because remember that crisscross pattern we were saying? Here's a 7 that comes across. So the 7's going to be left or right. And see how there's a 7 left or right? This also creates a crisscross pattern that the 7 can't be in the left, the 7 can't be in the right, and then there's a 7 across the top too. So that's a neat little crisscross pattern that is helpful for us. So we know that we're missing a 1 and a 6 and then a 3. Okay, so let's see here. There is a 1 right here, so 1 has to be here or here. 1 and a 6. So the 2 numbers we're missing here is a 3 and a 7. A 3 and a 7. A 3 and a 7. Okay, let's put those in there. 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7. Now the 7 has to go 7 or 7 here. Nope. What am I doing? No, we don't need a 7. It was the 6, right? The 6 that can go anywhere. Okay. 6 and a 6. All right. We now have everything marked. Aha! We have a 4 and an 8 here. So let's flop those 4s and 8s. Very good. All right. Now. Okay. Now this is where I always get stumped. I know there's a pattern here that I just cannot see. And I always have to get out my piece of paper and my little marker and jot down some numbers, because my brain isn't able to find this last little puzzle. I've done it so many times I'm running out of paper. Okay, so what I am thinking is right here, this 1 and 6 and this 3 and 6, right? So if this is a 1, then this is a 6. That's a 3. That's a 1. Oh, there's got to be something in here to help me out here. So here's a 3 and a 7, right? So if the 3 and 7, and usually what I end up doing is I have to just kind of guess it out and write it and see if one way works and one way doesn't. So let's just start with this 1 and 3. One of these days I'm going to catch it. I keep watching other people. All right, I'm going to put that as a 1 right in the middle. So if that's a 1, then that's going to be a 7. That's going to be a 6. That's going to be a 3. If that's a 6, then that's a 1. Then that's a 6. Okay, then that's a 1. And that's a 1. Okay. All right, a 1 and a 7. That makes this one a 3. Makes this one a 7. Okay, makes this one a 6. Makes this one a 3. Makes this a 6. See, I just got to keep going until I find a part that doesn't work. Okay, so if I do it that way, it works completely. Oh, where did I lost my 1 and a 6. Okay, so if I do this as a 1, the whole thing solves itself, which is great and dandy, but I always like to flop it around and do it the other way to make sure that it doesn't work the other way. So I'm going to put this one as a 3. So if I put it as a 3, that's going to make that one a 6, that's going to make that one a 7, that's going to make that one a 1, okay? And that's going to make that a 6, that's going to make that a 1, that's going to make that a 6, that's going to make that a 3, that's going to make that a 1, that's going to make that a 6, that a 1. I like to try to find out how it breaks, because that's what I would really like to see, is I'd like to see how, ooh, right there. Okay. Okay. So here's my flaw. I don't know exactly how to find this pattern. If this is a 3, that makes this a 7. Three, 1, 7, 6, 3, 7, and 7. See, both of these would be 7s. This I don't know how to find that in my brain. There's got to be a pattern that I'm missing somehow, but that's how I do it. When I get to this very last spot, I write it out and I just try one. And so I'm trying to find the solution, but if I do this as a 3, these two will be 7, and that won't work. So this one here has to be a 1, and so now this is going to have to be a 7, that's going to have to be a 6, that's going to have to be a 3, there we go, 6, 1, 6, 1, alright, and then our 1 is done, get rid of that. This is our 7, so here's our 3, here's our 7, here's a 3, so here's our 6, here's our 3, we now have a 6 here, so here's our 1 and our 6. Okay, we have a 6 up here, so here's our 7, and folks, there is our 6. So, very hard puzzle. Those crisscross eliminations are for hard and very hard puzzles. I finally got those down and able to see that pattern really good, but this ending pattern is still catching me up. I'm watching other advanced players trying to find out what that particular pattern is and how it looks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave comments, suggestions, or challenges. I enjoy them all, and happy gaming, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.